This is Tina. Welcome back. In this video, we are going to get some hands-on experience on Redux. Now, let's take a look at some the scenario where I'm going to use for the entire section, which covering the Redux. The place I live here has a store called a Pizza Ranch. Okay. And in this pizza store, we can order pizza and the pizza chef can make a pizza. So let's take a look at the core concept using the pizza store case. Okay. First, we have a store. The store will hold what? The store will hold all the current pizzas in one place, which means all the available pizzas in store, right? And then as a customer, we can make a pizza order. In this pizza order, we will tell, what kind of pizza we want and how many pizza we want to order, okay? And after we have order, the chef will do what? Will make a pizza based on the order, okay? And eventually, this one will produce a pizza, okay? And also will change the current pizzas in the store, the number at least, okay? And compared with our Redux, we also have a store. This store will hold the current state of an application. What is state? It's a data represent an application, can be a collection of to-do list, can be a single person, okay? If you are more want to know more about the state, you have to go to previous video, okay? And now compare with the pizza order, tell what kind of pizza or how many pizza will be ordered. We will talk about the action inside the store. This action will tell the store what it will happen and what needs to happen. Basically, what you want to change for this store, okay? And then we have reducer. Reducer gonna be generate the state based on the actions. Okay, here is like a pizza chef will make a pizza based on order. Here reducer is a function will generate the new state based on action. Or what you want to do? Then based on my action, okay, you give to me. I will give you a new state. Okay, that is the compare. Like store will hold the pizza. In the store in Redux will hold the state, which is data. The pizza order will tell what kind of pizza and how many pizza. The action will tell what is going to happen to the state. What do you want to change to the state? And the pizza chef will make a pizza. Reducer will generate the new state based on the action. So here have three things inside the oh my god, this one shouldn't be React. Okay, this one should be Redux. I just saw it. Okay, Redux. So here in the Redux, we have three core: store, action, and reducer. Let's take a look at one by one. Single source of truth we mentioned in previous video, which means all the state of our application is stored in an object within a single store, which means inside our store, all the state gonna be stored in a single JavaScript object. Okay, one object. And one object will have multiple properties based on what you want to store. Okay, so it's a single source of truth. Everything is stored in a single store and in one single object. In Redux, a store is a container that maintains the global state application we mentioned. As a single source of truth, a store is the center of every Redux application. Okay, because that's a place. If you want to get a state, you have to get it from store. Okay. If you want to dispatch, you have to dispatch to the store, okay? It has ability to update the global state using the dispatch, which means dispatch and action. I will do what I will dispatch what I want to do. And you can subscribe elements of an application UI to change in the state. This one is already related to when we relate to the front framework like React, okay? But we can subscribe at the beginning. We can subscribe to the changes in the store, okay? And we just print out the changes in the store. Rather than accessing a state directly, Redux provides a function through the store to interact with the state. We'll take a look at it one by one. Like if we want to get the state, we are using store.get state. And if we want to do an update on the state, we will have to dispatch an action. So here is the snippet code represent how to create a store. This create a store is an API inside Redux. You have to give a reducer. Okay, reducer we'll talk about in a minute, and it will give you a store. And what's being in the store? Take a look at our previous example, the pizza one. In our store, I'm going to store the number of pizza. This is our state. It's by default is 12 here. Okay. And now second one, state is read only. The only way to change a state is to emit an action. And what is an action? Action is an object. Object will describe what is gonna happen. What will happen? What happened? Okay. So action is what? Action is an object. So in Redux, an action is a plain JavaScript object representing intention to change store. Okay. An action object must have a type property. This one. This type will represent, what you want to do, okay? What kind of action you want to do. But this keyword type here, if we are using Redux only, okay, it's your choice to change it to be different property name here. Just to make sure the action here matches the reducer. But you don't necessarily use this keyword type here, okay? But you need to have a type property here to represent what kind of things you want to, what kind of action you want to take, okay? So it's a user-defined string value, okay? Usually a string value describe the action being taken. What you want to do. Here is example. What I want to do, I want to order pizza, okay? And the optional properties can be added to an action object. And one component is conventionally called a payload. You can use payload. You can use other, other keyword called like a data something. But we have to make sure our action and our reducer function matches. Okay. But when we go to Redux toolkit, it's a little bit opinionated. They will use payload by default and type by default. But for Redux only, you can change, okay, which is used to supply data necessary to perform the desired action. Suppose for order pizza, if I want to have what? I want to order for 2 pizza. Or I want to order for 10 pizza. Then you optionally, here you can have what? Here you can have a payload. Here you can have a payload. Okay, payload. I forgot to bring my writing tab. You can use 10. So for this action, what it is, it's an object which you can then type. Type will describe what? Describe what I want to do. I want to order pizza. And the payload is additional information. Say, I want to order 10 pizza. That is action, okay? And next one, last one. Changes are made through pure functions. This pure function has a name called the reducer. To specify how the state tree is transformed by action, we have to write reducer. Reducer is a pure reducer. Pure function means what? If you give me the same input, I will always give you same output. That is a pure function. In Redux, a reducer is also known as a reducer function. So reducer is what? Reducer is a function. Okay, it's a JavaScript function, takes the current state of a store and an action as parameters. Take a look at here. Reducer is what? Reducer is a function. So here, I'm using arrow function. The reducer will have 2 parameters. First one is state. This state will represent the current state of the store. And optionally, you can give an initial state, okay? And you have action. Action is what? Action is an object which has a type or optionally has a payload, okay? Reducer will calculate a new state based on action it receives. Suppose here we give this action, which type is pizza order. So based on my reducer, okay, it will give you current state and give me action. Action type is order. We will do what? We will based on action type. See here, we will based on action type, and the case is what? Order. And when we order pizza, we just do what? Change the number of pizza to be -1. That is the reducer do. Based on the state and action, I will generate a new state. Suppose my store has a 12. Okay, this is my state, right? Store have 12, okay? So if I made a pizza order once, this action, I will have what? I will have -1. So my state of number of pizza gonna be 11, okay? So reducers are the only ways the store's current state can be changed with a Redux function, a Redux application. So if you want to make a change, you have to dispatch an action, and action eventually gonna be used by the reducer. Reducer gonna do is based on the logic, generate a new state. They are an important part of Redux one-way data flow, which means if you want to make a change, you have to through the dispatch action, and reducer we're gonna generate. Okay. So to connect the things together, here we are go this part. Eventually, we're gonna be using React components. For this video and the next few videos, we are using the index.ts. Just directly subscribe to the store and get a state from store. Suppose I want to use the state inside our components, you have to from store to get a state. Then you can use. Suppose user click some buttons and want to change the state. You can do what? In React, you probably do something. And this one gonna be have a action creators. Action creators is used to create action. See here, action creator is what? Create actions. Action is what? Is an object which has a type. This one, you can use data. You can use a payload. Is more common, okay? And then I want to make a change, right? When we make a change, we have to dispatch. Dispatch what? Dispatch an action, okay? This is object created by this action creator. Then the store gonna do what? The store will call the reducer. Reducer will get the previous, which is current state, and this action, which is this one. And then reducer will based on function what we wrote. It will going to generate a new state, okay? That is the workflow of the Redux. And we will do hands-on experience now, okay? So for the entire playlist, we are going to using TypeScript, okay? And so first thing we are going to do is to have a package.json. So npm init will generate a package.json, and we will store Redux by default first, okay? And this one will cause you will have a new files added in package, you will have a dependency added in package.json. You will also have a package log.json and node modules. Because we are using TypeScript, we will have a ts init, okay? So now let me exit from this mode. Then we have some hands-on experience. So here I'm going to have a first demo. Let's call Redux Demo, okay? And then I'm going to integrate terminal, okay? And here I will use npm init -y. -y means yes to everything, all the answers, okay? Is my it's a little bit slow. I don't know what. So it's gonna have a package.json. You are welcome to change as you want. Next thing is npm install Redux, okay? And you will see here we'll have a dependency being added. See here the dependency and have package log.json and node modules, okay? Then next one we have to generate the tsconfig because we are going to use TypeScript. npx tsc init. Okay, I think I'm not. Let me. Oh, I didn't install TypeScript. Okay, so let me install TypeScript. npm install TypeScript. Actually, using globally. Oh my goodness. I don't want TypeScript. It's fine, okay. It's fine to be here, but it's fine, okay. This one, because I didn't install TypeScript, it asked me to install you. Then you can also install it globally if you, for most of application, use TypeScript. So now tsc init. tsc command not found. npx tsc. Okay, oh, I have to use npx tsc. I have to take a look at why this one doesn't work. Okay, probably let me try it one more time. So I'm going to delete it. Sometimes it could happen. Yes, the terminal, once you install new things, the terminal has to be restart. Okay, so let me restart the terminal. See, TSC will automatically work. So I close the previous one. Now let's tsc init. Oh, still cannot. Then I'll use tsc. Okay, init. I will see what is going to happen because I haven't used the MacBook for a very long time. Okay, so next thing we are going to change is here. I'm going to add includes, which means later on when I run tsc command, I want to all the ts file. I want to change. I want to compile all the ts file which is under the src folder. Okay, so here later on I'm going to write an src folder, and then the next one is out dir. I'm going to enable it, which is all the generated JS file, I'm going to put it in a folder called the dist folder. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that's the configurations. Then here I'm going to write an src. Okay, so our source code is going to be all here. Now, what's going to happen next? The next thing we are going to do is define action. Let's take a look at. Okay, I'll just do like this way. So in Redux, usually we don't directly write a code type is action. Usually we are going to use a function called action creators to create and return an action object. Instead of manually writing an action object each time, action creator provide a convenience way to create actions. So why we use action creators is to provide a cleaner code. It avoids repeating the structure of action object in multiple places, and also ensure the actions are always created in a consistent way. So if you don't use action creator, it's fine. So I'm going to write a new file called index.ts. Okay, and then what are you going to do? So we need to have action first, right? So I will create action. The action is called the pizza order. And the order going to have what? The order going to have type, which is a pizza order. We will refactor one by one. I will show you why the action creator is it's better. We suggest you. Okay, so this is my action. Okay, so this is my what's thing. The first step is action. Okay, after we create action, the second step we are going to do is to create a reducer. Okay, reducer is a function which will take the state, okay, and the action. Okay, so here we will have a const reducer, reducer. It's going to be a function. I'm going to use arrow function. Any type of function is fine. Okay. Let me. Oh, I already forgot the shortcuts for format because I was using IntelliJ for a month. I forgot it. So reducer going to take two parameters. One is state and one is action. And the state we usually we give initial state. Okay, what is initial state? As we mentioned earlier, the example, the initial state is contains a number of pizza. Okay, the default we use 10 here. Okay, so here you have initial state. So what is action? Action, because we are using TypeScript. TypeScript for the function declaration, it requires you to give a type here. And what is action type? Our action type is this one. See here, this is our action type. So additionally, you can give a type of called action type. Action type will have a type is string. Okay, so here is for our action type. This one, so you don't have errors. Okay, then in the reducer, what are you going to do? Based on the state is like maintain a number of pizza. And based on action, I want to order a pizza. in this case, okay? Then I'm going to generate a new state. So I'm going to use a switch statement. Switch statement, you can use what? Action.type, okay? And then you have a case. Case is what? Case is what? Case is this one. Because action.type will get a pizza order if we give the pizza order, okay? Case is this pizza order. Then we are going to produce a new state. New state inside the Redux, it has to be immutable, which means you cannot do like this way. You cannot use state. You cannot do like this way. State dot pizza -1. You cannot, because it's immutable, okay? So you have to generate a new object which contains state. Usually we will do state with spread, and once we do spread, you will get a number of pizza. For the first case is number of pizza 10. Then we modify on top of it, state dot number of pizza, and I made a mistake here. Number of pizza we change here and -1. This is to generate new state. New state will cause the number of pizza -1. Then we will give what? Default. Default case is what? Return state. Usually, if suppose I give a dispatch an action, the action is what? The action is pizza restock. Then you're gonna do what? It will give you a default one, because I don't have a case to handle pizza stock restock, right? So this is our reducer is done. Okay, a function. And here, if you want, you can also use destruction assignment, which is here destruction on the type, which do like this way. If you want, okay, like this one, you can also do. Here, I just go simple, okay. I'm not sure if everyone has the experience on the destruction assignment, but it used quite a lot. So the second step is what? Second step, we create reducer. Okay, create a reducer. We are done so far. Now go to the last step. Not the last. The third step is store. Okay, how to create a store? You use create a store. Create a store. Okay, so create a store, you have to give reducer. So the third step, create a store. Okay, so how to create a store? You have a store returned by using create a store. And this API is deprecated, as you can see here, but we are doing the learning the Redux here. Okay, later on, after we introduce Redux toolkit, we are going to replace this deprecated one. But for understanding Redux, it's better to start from scratch. So here we use create store, which is imported from Redux. Don't worry, okay? So we create a store. Now, the last step is test, okay, which is like a get state, dispatch, actions, okay. That's what we are going to do. Then first thing, how to get a state? Use this one is initial state, and you use state dot not this state. State dot get not a state store. My bad. Dot get a state, and you will retrieve the state from the store. This is to get a state. And suppose I make changes. I want to monitor or get whenever the state is being changed. I want to get the change. Then you have to do store.subscribe. Okay. When we do subscribe, you give a callback function. In the callback function, you decide what you want to do. Okay. Which means suppose the state in the store is being changed, and if you do some actions here, this function gonna be executed, and this action statement you put here gonna be executed. So I'm going to do is a console.log do updated state, and here I'm going to store.get state. Okay, just say, oh, is my state being changed? Okay, then next thing is what? If I want to make a change to the state, how to do? You have to use store.dispatch. Dispatch what? Dispatch an action. Okay, and action is this one, pizza order. you dispatch what? Dispatch an action. The action is this pizza order. That's what we dispatch, okay? And you can dispatch multiple times. You can dispatch multiple times pizza order. Pizza order. Yeah, pizza order. Okay, we dispatch another pizza order. Then when we subscribe, here we'll have an unsubscribe being returned. Unsubscribe. So once you finish everything, you can call, okay, I'm no longer subscribe. You can do like this way. Now let's take a look at how to do it. My npx starting to work very well. So my TSC, okay, TSC. Usually when you write a TSC, it's going to ask a TypeScript compiler to generate all the JS files based on your TS files. But TSC here, my command doesn't work. I'll fix in next video. So here, I'm going to use npx tsc. See if it works. Oh, it's a little bit slow on my laptop. So here, as you can see, guys, it's being generated a dist folder and have index.js file. Because if I want to run this code, I cannot directly run using node some.ts file because it contains types, right? The node can only run what kind of file? Can only run JS file. So I'm going to do is here in the package.json, we can do, so in order to run, okay, I have to do like this way. Node, okay, dot dist slash index.js. Okay, so here you will see initial state is 10 and updated because I dispatch what? I dispatch pizza order twice. Okay, see here, I dispatch pizza order twice. That's why it's being reducer here. It's being minus twice. That's why the first dispatch the action 9, second is 8. Okay. The other thing I want to change here is take a look at here. Whenever I using the node, every time I want to execute is using node dist index.js, right? You can change it on package.json, and in the script you can use a start. Start, I'm going to execute what? I'm going to execute node dist index.js. Okay. Index.js, and you can also add what? You can also add a build. And when we do build, I'm going to do what? For us here is what? For us here is npx tsc. Okay. Like this way. So later on, when you execute the application, you can use npm run build. Suppose I dispatch another one. Okay, if I dispatch another one, okay. If I dispatch another one, then we have to regenerate the JS file, because if I directly run a node dist slash index.js, it still run the previous version. Okay, it's not a changed one, so you have to compile first. And since we have the command set up here, we can do what? We can do npm run build. It's going to generate a new version of the changed one. Then I can run npm start. See here, it's being changed. Okay, so this is our first version. Okay, first version. So far so good. So let's do an let's take a look at summary. Okay, so you have to have action. Okay, action is an object which will describe a type of the what you want to do. Then you have to have a reducer. Reducer function will take the state and action, and then you, according to your business, and you write a logic to generate the new state. Okay, this is what we wrote. And then how to create a store? Just using a create store function from the Redux, you must pass a reducer. Okay, and then to do test, if you want to get a state, use a get a state. If you want to listening for the state change, you use a subscribe. You give a function. Okay, and you decide what you want to do here. And how to make a change in the state, you have to dispatch what? Dispatch an action. This is how we do so far. Okay, let's go back to a slide. So that's the same. Okay, here the one I using a refactored version, which is a create a pizza action here. Okay, we'll talk about it in a minute. And here, and we have package.json, and this is this one works for my Windows laptop. Okay, but the Mac, it asked me to it doesn't recognize TSC. I have to use the npx. Okay, and this one is to start. So once you configure in package.json, you can use npm run and npm start. So now, guys, the first thing we want to refactor is this one. Why this action like this way is not good? Think about a scenario. The scenario is I want to order, and here I want to have a payload. Suppose, okay, later on, I want payload. This payload here, I want to be different, which is sometimes can be 1, sometimes can be 2, sometimes can be 3. So if I use an object like this way, how can I change the value for this payload? Right? So because the payload, this one, if in a solid object, this payload is not changeable. That's a problem why we want to use action creator. So this is why we use action creators, not directly give an object. This is the first reason, the main reason, okay? Because it avoids repeating the structure of action object in multiple places and ensure action is already created in a consistent way. And mainly is because suppose I want this one to be changeable with a type. You have to either this part is every time you pass, oh, this is order 10, this is order 3. But you can think this one, this is repeated, right? This is repeated, no clear data structure on how the action is being generated. That's why we need to have action creator, okay? Second one, take a look at this one. Place order, this type is a pizza order. This string is used here. And also you need to copy paste this string in the reducer too. Sometimes it can make mistakes. So first refactor, we are going to have a constant. The constant here, which is called the pizza order, and the string is this pizza order. Okay, and here the type, I'm no longer use the string. I will use a variable, this one, pizza order. Same thing for our reducer. Here I'm going to use the constant pizza order. So later on it's guaranteed because you only have one copy, and later on if you want to change this string, just change it in one place, right? And this is the first change we want, not using a string, instead using the constants, okay? Second one, as we mentioned, I want this one to use a function to generate, which will gain a benefit later on. We want to do the payload here, okay? But for this demo, I just use a function which create this, only have a type of pizza order, okay? Const create order pizza action, okay? Equals, it's a function. I will use arrow function, okay? Because it's so simple. Arrow function, you can directly return what? Return an this object, okay? This object, okay? And because here in this body, okay, function body, I only have one return statement. So this part can be used to replace this part. Okay, so whenever I call create order pizza, it will give us an object which is same as this action object before. Okay, so this is a refactor we're doing here. Then we are going to, when we dispatch, we are not dispatch this object, we are dispatch a function call. This function call will give us an object of the action. Do like this way, then it will match our slide. So that's the change we are making, okay? Now this is the first refactoring. So now I'm going to do is npm. This doesn't work. I forgot the syntax. Okay, command not. I want to clear. I want to clear it. It doesn't allow me to do. So I just directly run. Okay, npm run build. Okay. So an npm start. Now it give us like a 10, 9, 8, 7, same exactly before, right? 7. Let's remove one. Okay, let's remove one to make sure it's being updated. Okay, so npm build and npm start. You will see it's being changed, right? So this is first refactoring. Second refactoring, we have everything inside one file. Suppose later on I have more actions can be handled. This file gonna be getting larger and larger, okay? And usually we are going to split in different places, okay? So I'm going to split, okay? So first I'm going to make a copy or paste of this one, and which is first, which what's the all-in-one. First, just do first, okay? I don't have a good name for that. Second one, we're going to refactoring to do what? Here I have more different files. Suppose the first one is for all the constants. Potential constants.ts, my bad. Rename, okay. .ts, okay. Potentially later on we can have multiple the constants. So here these constants, now I'm going to cut and paste here, okay. And later on I'm going to export. Okay, export can be used for others. And for these action creators, I'm going to create a new file. The new file will called pizza action.ts, okay. And then this action creator, I'm going to put inside here, pizza action, okay? Because here I need to have what? I need to have pizza order. So I'm going to import pizza order from the constants. So this is the first step to refactor for the action. So you have constants, you have a pizza action, okay? And next one, for the reducer, I'm going to have another file called pizza reducer.ts, okay? And then all our reducer, this reducer code going to be inside our reducer. Okay, in our reducer. And here needed the pizza order, right? So you just import it. Import pizza order from constants. So your reducer is done, and make sure you export it. I will export default reducer because this file I only export reducer, okay? But for these constants, potentially can have more, so I don't use default, okay? Oh, I forgot to this one. This one I also need to export this action creator. Potentially can have more actions comes, so I don't use export default, okay? But here only reducer gonna be exported, so I use default. And the last one, store going to be in another file called store. TS, okay? So gonna have a store. Okay, then we have to import the store. We have to import this reducer too. So I have to cut this one to here, and also import pizza reducer from pizza reducer. Yes, okay. You can also just call reducer. The name is your choice, okay? So, and then we have to do what? Export default the store, because that's the only for store based on name, right? So default the store, you only have one single store. Then in the index, we're going to do what? We're going to import store from store, okay? And we also need to import those actions. So here, second one, import. The action is not default import. It's going to be an create order pizza action, okay, from this one. And that's how we separate. It's more clear. We know where to find these constants because it's going to be used by action and reducer. So I use a new file, just a constants here. Then it's going to be used for actions here, type. It's going to be used for the reducer, the type here, okay? So action, where to find action? It's all in action files, okay? Create an action. Reducer is all our reducer code, which has a function, okay? And have a type related to the action. And the store, just the create store, you give me reducer. And the index.ts file is what? For testing, okay? Get a store and subscribe and dispatch actions, everything. So now let's take a look at here. npm, let me dispatch another action, okay? So make sure it's being changed, okay? The previous that only have 2 dispatch action. npm run build, okay? My laptop is, and npm start, and you will see all of them is working. Okay, you have an initial, we dispatch 3 actions. That's why the state is being modified 3 times. Okay, so this is our refactoring second step. Okay, so next one we have this is refactoring. Let me see here. See here. This is our refactoring. This one, okay. So our code in SRC is being changed in multiple places. Okay, as we mentioned earlier, the constants, index is for testing, action is the action creator, reducer is reducer, store is a store. Okay. So next one, we are going to have an exercise. I want you to add a new action to restock pizza with a quantity. Okay, so here if you I suggest you pause and write the code by yourself. Okay, but now I'm going to go over the solution. Okay, we will add a new action. Okay, so let's go back to our code. I'm going to make a copy. Okay, which is refactored, FACTO, refactored, okay? And then in SRC, we want to what? We want to add a new action for restock. So here, first we start with constants. We have export constant, and which we call the pizza restock. Okay, the value is same, restock. Okay, and then we will have action. Action this time is it will accept for what? A quantity. How many pizza you want to restock? Stock pizza. Restock is spelling is correct, right? And here we do have what? Quantity. Quantity. Quantity is a number. Okay, this is a TypeScript. It asks you to go type for all the functions. So, oh my bad, here. It's going to be an object which contains type. Type is what? Pizza restock. Okay, and we use payload here. Okay, payload is what? Quantity. In the create pizza action, because I want to restock the quantity, so here you have a payload is a quantity, and then we have to change our reducer to handle this type of action. Okay, so here first thing is here I have to change here potentially have a payload. Okay, payload what's it? It's a type is a number. Okay, and it's an optional because for this first order pizza action, I don't have a quantity and only have this restock have quantity. So here the payload is optional. Then we have to have another case which is called case pizza restock. Okay, and we have to return what? Return state, and this time is the number of pizza, which is state dot number of pizza plus what? Plus action dot payload. Oh, if you didn't provide, I'll give 0. do like this way. And let me reformat. Okay, I forgot the syntax for the configure. Okay, format. Okay, format, which is when a pizza stock, I have a state and it's going to be payload. You can also exist gonna be action dot payload. Can I use exist? I use 0, or do like this way to be 0. No, that give. I don't want to write it very long, which means if payload exists, I will use action of payload. Otherwise, use 0. Can't do, but it doesn't. I forgot the syntax. I just do like this way. This exclamation make sure it definitely has a payload there. Okay, which means when you dispatch a pizza restock, you must have a payload there. Okay, so this is our reducer. We are done. Then we go to do a test. There's nothing to be changed in the store. Okay, so we just change the constants, change the action creator, and change the reducer to handle this type of action. And in the index, we are going to store dispatch what? Dispatch create restock action creator, and we want restock 2. Okay, and we can restock another one. Dispatch create restock action, and we'll restock 5. Okay, now let me change this part to after it. Okay, so we have 5 actions. This is order gonna be -1. This is gonna be +2 +5. Okay, let's see. So here I'm going to npm run build. My laptop is slow. So start, see here, this is the initial state, and when we create order action, it reduce 1, and create order action, which is order action reduce 2, and when we restock pizza 2, you got a 10, and restock again, you get a 15, and then we reduce which order pizza, you reduce 1, okay, decrease 1, okay. So that is this exercise, and hopefully you understand what I wrote and why we split it into modifiers, what are they connected, and get some hands-on experience by yourself, and I will see you in next video. Thank you, bye bye.